This is Charlie Parsons from Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Michael Hunter on Zoom. We've sort of briefly texted for years. Nice to catch up again. How are you, mate?
Good, good. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to see you, bro. All good. I suppose going straight into it, you have got a fight scheduled. I do want to sort of go into um everything though, all the top names. Just on that note. Donnie Palmer, I believe. That's what BoxRec got it down as. Do you just sort of want to talk a little bit about this and then maybe what the future holds for you?
Well, I've been out for quite some time. I've been training for quite some time, but I haven't really been in there and got my rounds in. I've been, staying active as best as I can, but this will be at my a real actual fight. So, it's just for me to get active and, get back in there and see what it's like.
Have you
Get that
found it?
feeling again.
Have you found it difficult mentally with the inactivity?
Absolutely. But I guess this is a fighter's life. I know not everybody has these issues. I know the also the boxing industry right now is kind of um, in a wavy situation, I guess. So I guess this is the terrain, but yes, it's been very difficult. Hopefully, I can show up on the 24th of June, and get back on the active list and start getting my rankings back and continue to continue to go for the journey.
Look, I want to go into some of these top fights for you. Obviously, you want to get through this opponent. Obviously, that's the only thing that you'll be focusing on. But there is a top level of heavyweights and fringe level to get yourself into the mix. Just before we go on to that, the two promoters, I believe that you were having some sort of meetings with Ben Shalom within the last couple of months or maybe 12 months. I don't know to be exact
Mm-hmm.
how long. Are you able to shed any light on what happened there? We expected you to be involved somewhat on UK shores for fights.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. My opponent was got sick and was having some issues and wasn't able to compete with me a few times. But I had a contract with Sky to continue to keep us active, and it just never transpired, and it's really unfortunate. But that's just how it goes.
Okay. When you look at the sort of top crop of names at the minute, is there anything that sort of grabs your eye? I mean, we look back at sort of a couple of years ago, the draw that you had with Povetkin that most people thought was a win. You were on the cusp. I imagine you're sort of eager and you believe in yourself to get back there. What sort of guys are you looking at down the line?
Well, I feel like I'm the best, man. There's really not too many people that you could put up there right now. I mean, people would want to see it because they're the top names as far as Tyson Fury, not dealing White, um, Deontay Wilder. Um, you know, these are big names, but I think that the way I fight and my ring IQ is enough to beat those guys. And I think we see a perfect example when it comes to Usyk and Tyson Fury. We know Tyson, he kind of dodged that, and it didn't make the fight happen. If he was the best in the world, it would be very easy to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He would be the A side and all of that. So he had all the marbles in his hand, and he still didn't take the fight. So fighters like that, that are a little smaller that move well, give fighters like him problems, and we've seen it, time and time again. Anytime he's been in the ring with a guy that's a little bit smaller and has good feet, it's been trouble, So, uh, and that's me. So, I can compete with the best for sure, and I think I can beat them all. I just haven't got my opportunity to show it. So, I've been ranked and been in mandatory positions several times before, but just been a misfortune to not been able to capitalize on the opportunity.
All right, Michael, let's stick with Tyson Fury then. In the last week, he's sort of been rumoured to fight an awful lot of people: Dempsey McKean, Joe Albertaya, John Jones, Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua. What do you make of all of that?
I think that he's I think it's poor for the sport as far as him being a heavyweight. He has a responsibility in a sense, being the top heavyweight to make boxing shine. And I think that is kind of just it's just bad for boxing as a whole. I feel like for him not to just do what just get a fight. You know what I'm saying? Just make it happen. But to play with boxing and the bargain and do all this stuff and just be up and down is just a normal tactic from him. So, um, you know, it is
If
what
you
it is.
if you're given a more sort of fringe level name to jump in with, do you think you'd take that opportunity, or do you really just want to jump into maybe one of the top four?
Right now, I would fight. I want to fight the best. You know what I'm saying? So the best fight I could get is the best fight I would take. I've I've been wanting to fight. I would fight anybody. These guys have eventually these guys are not consistent. We've been seeing a lot of inconsistencies, um, with with the heavyweights and lately, and we haven't I haven't had the opportunity to show myself. So once I do get that opportunity, I think that you know the rest will be history. You know what I'm saying?
How do you put yourself into a position to create that opportunity? Obviously, promotional politics always come into play. How do you do that for yourself?
I think I just got to stay active, get somebody that really sees what's going on here. That this is an easy ride, um, and easy way to to get a world title. And I got to just stay active and stay busy. I think that they cannot deny me if I stay busy. I think that that's where I've been. Only time I've been active is off of inactivity. So, uh, I got to stay active.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn about the possibility of sort of working with you again. He said he enjoyed his time sort of working with you and promoting events with you on, but after turning down the Hrgovic final eliminator, he was sort of frustrated by that. Are you able to sort of give a response to that? I mean, would you like to sort of go in as with one of Eddie's heavyweights moving forward if the opportunity
Oh,
arose?
absolutely. That was one of the reasons why I signed with him in the first place. I wanted to fight one of his fighters, and at the time, I was asking for Hrgovic. I mean, we fought on the same cards several times, and they kept moving our fights back, the cards, saying that they couldn't find anybody to fight me. But then I kept fighting with Hrgovic, and they kept saying they couldn't find anybody to fight him, and I was like, well, we're heavyweights. Um, so it's not me not trying to fight. I denied the offer with him because of the just because of me dealing with Triller and me hoping that Triller was going to back me, and actually that's what they were saying, and it just never turned out like that. So it wasn't any bad blood. It might have been bad business, but Eddie is who he is, and he's a great promoter. Obviously, he's been he's winning. So
Okay, he's in a position where he sort of has uh he's sort of expecting a world title shot, but we don't know if that's going to come. He may get offered money to step aside regarding as to whether undisputed happens or whatever's happening there. Looks like Usyk's going to be fighting Daniel Dubois. Would you take a fight with Hrgovic if that was now offered to you?
yeah, absolutely. If it's in the right conditions, I wasn't really willing to jump all the way to Croatia. Would have been like the first fight in Croatia that would ever happen, the biggest fight in Croatia or something, and and it wasn't worth what the bid was and all that. And it was, I mean, it was a good business move by Eddie, and yeah. So if it makes sense, then it make dollars, and I'll be in the ring. I think I need to fight people that, I mean, opportunities like this, you know, the fights, to me, I don't really consider them any harder or any easier than anybody else. It's always usually me in my head. It's me against me in any way at the end of the day. So I just have to find a way on how to adjust.
All right, finally from me, a message then to the top level. We look forward to seeing you out again, some activity, and then let's get yourself back in the names at the big mix. A lot of sort of, I'm sure, mentally tough period behind you, and like you say, certain business things, etc. But now you want to get back into your career, right? And how do you do against? I know we look away from the Furies, but your name's always going to be brought up with the fringe level guys too. How do you do in those fights?
I mean, you see my work. I think that my specialty is drowning somebody and taking them into deep waters, and just fighting with a big heart. And there's not nobody you could say that they would do great against me. And I think that that's why I've been, nobody's, really took most of the challenge unless they had to. And they know that at any day that I'm going to become a problem. You know what I'm saying? There's no certain way to beat me. You know what I'm saying? You just have to hope that Michael doesn't show up.
Well, Michael Hunter, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for speaking to us at Boxing Social. Hopefully, keep in touch and then catch up with you after your fight. Same thing again.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Have a good day.